Hello everybody and welcome to DRL TV. I am your host tonight, James Pandoff. Martin Wenzel is not with me at the moment, but he should be joining us in a bit. Tonight, 133 laps under the lights at Kansas for the Cup Series. Right now we are underway with qualifying. We're about a minute in. Right now we're watching Ryan Hesgaard, who's starting his first lap tonight. This track is multi-grooved. We're going to see everybody running from the low line to the high line. I've heard from a lot of drivers tonight that this is sort of like a Talladega. Everybody tends to be wide open, so look for a lot of excitement through these 20-something cars we have tonight. As we see here, looks like Ryan Hesgaard is going to be doing a slow lap. He's going to be stopping here until the very last second. As we take a look at Eric Wolf in the number 24 car, he's entering turn 3 now, going to be completing his first lap of the night. As he crosses the line here, let's see what he gets for a time. Currently fourth with a 31.273. As he heads onto the backstretch, going to try to improve his time here. Taking on the low line around 3 and 4. Going to cut that apron. That is legal here at this track. You can go down onto that apron, try to gain as much of a time advantage as you can. Right now he is in 6th place with a 30.276. As you see here, Thomas Harmon in the 68 also doing the start in the back strategy as he's just stopped right in front of the line. Joseph Helt, currently 8th on the board, taking his second lap. As he enters 3 and 4 on the low line. Coming off of 4, cutting that apron like we saw Eric Wolf just do. And he does not improve his time. Oh, he does, excuse me, with a 30.354. ATVO was a little delayed there. So he is currently in 5th place. Wade Hustad, another driver looking to start in the back here, as well as Logan. A lot of drivers looking to start in the back, going to try to avoid the big one early. Like I said, this is going to be like a Talladega on a 1.5 mile track, so big wrecks are bound to happen. Here we have Richard Lucky crossing the line now. With about a minute left in qualifying, Richard Lucky posts a 31.168. That is good for 9th place at the moment. Coming to 3 and 4, going to take the low line. Crossing the start finish line now. Does he improve his time? And he will, jumping up to 5th with a 30.350. 30 seconds are left in qualifying. Jim Westerville looking to set a time now with only 20 seconds left. Taking it very slow around the track. Hopefully he'll be able to cross the line in time. As he's creeping up on the line now. And he does make it across. And that'll do it for qualifying. Looks like Eric Wolf will be your pole sitter. As soon as I can, I'll pull him in for an interview. As the field is starting to grid up here. Alright, let me pull in Eric Wolf in the 24. Hey Eric Wolf, this is James Pandoff in the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, James, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. While you sit here on the pole for tonight's Kansas race, tell me a bit of what you expect tonight with this new package NASCAR has.
I expect it to be everybody trying to tame down their aggression. It's going to be difficult. I'm going to see how these first 5 laps go, and I might drop to the back depending on how it looks. But, I mean, you can get big runs, and you just have to be really trusting of the guys around you. It's really unpredictable, if I could sum it up in a word.
A lot of people have said that there's a bit of an aero push as you're able to stay full throttle around here, kind of like an IndyCar. Would you say that having an IndyCar experience will help you out here tonight?
I don't know how much. I've ran a couple laps of the IndyCar, but yeah, I do notice the aero push. You definitely notice it, and that's something you're going to have to deal with here whenever you're picking lines, whenever you're defending. Yeah, aero push is definitely a part of this racing now, where it wasn't before.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you talking to us. Congrats again on the pole, and we hope to talk to you at the end of this one.
All right, thanks, James.
And that was Eric Wolf, driver of the 24. As the field is about to take off from pit road, going to be leading us to the green in his K&N. Sorry about that, my mic cut out there for a second. As the pace car rolls off, let's take a look at the grid real quick if we can. Eric Wolf is your pole sitter with a 30.276. Taylor Butcher Benjamin in the 8s right behind him. Chris Lucky will be starting in 3rd, followed by John Theodore in the number 27. Connor Lane is starting in 5th, and John Mullins in the 64 outside of him. Stephen Turner, Richard Lucky. Richard Lucky had a fantastic race last weekend until he got caught up in a bit of a wreck. Joseph Hell and Mike Lemon round out the top 10. Matthew Kleinsman and Chris James starting in the 11th and 12th spot. Dustin Musil, Anthony Burrows. Anthony Burrows has multiple wins this season. Look for him to be out front by the end. Jim Westfield and Gary Cronwet. Spencer Turner in the 28 and Bill Edwards in the number 75. Thomas Harmon is 19th. Logan in the 88's 20th. Had a great run going at Dover till he hit the outside wall. I'll let the grid order follow through as the pace car is off. Eric Wolf going to lead him down for green flag racing here at Kansas. Eric Wolf off to a nice start. He's going to be single filed out as they head into turn 1. Chris Lucky already looking to the inside of Taylor Butcher Benjamin for that 2nd position. He's able to make it work. Single file out of the first 4. Back to 5th place, we have Stephen Turner and Connor Lane battling. Connor Lane going way to the outside. Looks like he's dropping back. Might have hit the outside wall and just sucked him in there, losing quite a few spots in the process. Going back up front, we have Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Stephen Turner on the outside. John Theodore looking to take 3rd place away from Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Side by side heading down the backstretch. John Mullins taking that inside lane right behind John Theodore. Joseph Helt looking to the outside. He's going to make it 3 cars on the outside. Eric Wolf leads that lap once again as we are now on lap 3. Taylor Butcher Benjamin getting a bit of a push from Stephen Turner. He's going to have to be careful here. Taylor's doing a great job making that outside of the line work as the inside line's kind of falling back, leaving Eric Wolf all by himself. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, has a bit of an edge. It looks like he'll be able to lead that lap as Eric Wolf uses that apron there. Credit Taylor with that lap lead. As you see there, that inside line has a bit of an advantage being the shorter side around the racetrack, but that outside line just gets a huge enough run. Taylor's able to hang right up in there with the 24. There's Anthony Burrows. As I said, he started way in the back and he's already up to the front top 5 within 4 laps. Already gained 10 positions. That's amazing. Looks like the mid-pack has started to single file out, but these leaders are going at it 2 by 2, 5 laps into this race. Oh, that's too close to call at the line. I think Eric Wolf had it. Joseph Helt looking to the outside now. As all these cars start to move up to the top side, Steven Turner might make it 3 wide here onto the backstretch. Eric Wolf with a nice block on the 26. Going to use that push the 26 gave him to take that lead. Steven Turner pushes him clear of the outside line. Steven Turner is now going to look to the outside himself, try to get in front of the 8, try to get a push from him. Justin Musial in the 22, another driver who started in the back, is already up to the top 10. As you see Steven Turner clear of the 24 of Eric Wolf. He's going to take the lead on lap 7. Some great racing here so far, not even 10 laps in. Anthony Burroughs is going to be looking to take second away from Eric Wolf. Going to have to use that side draft as he's the only one on that inside line. Looks like he'll have an advantage getting down onto that apron, taking away as much track as we can. As he does take second, now he's going to look to take the lead from Steven Turner. There is a lap car coming up. These guys are going to have to be careful to work around him the best they can. Matthew Kleinsman, a driver you don't normally see in the Cup Series, doing a fantastic job, currently in the 7th position. Look for him to have a top 5 by the end of this one. As we go back to the lead, Anthony Burr still fighting with Steven Turner for that lead position. Eric Wolf hanging with Steven on the outside line. As you see Joseph Helt cut down on that apron, going back to the outside line. Justin Musial in that 22 already into the top 5 position. Michael Lemon in that 38, another driver starting in the back. He's all the way up to 6th. Drivers you see who started in the back and currently staying in the back. We have the 88 of Logan. Right in front of him is the 99 of Jeremy Hebel. Truck driver making a Cup Series start here tonight. And then you have his teammate Dakota Wilkins in the number 53 right in front of him. And then you have last year's series champion Wade Hustad. I'm sure Dakota and Jeremy are going to learn a lot from him as he's right up behind Spencer Tart, trying to make a pass on Ryan Hesgard. Let's see if we can have an onboard view with Wade Hustad. As you see, he's coming back off from the apron, staying right behind Ryan Hesgard. He's off the gas a little bit, but then he's right back on it. These cars will get to about 8450 RPMs by the end of the straightaway. Going back to the front, we still have a side-by-side battle for the lead between the 62 of Anthony Burrows and the 26 of Steven Turner. Anthony Burrows just not quite able to clear him. As we see the O2s in the wall, he's going to lose a few positions. Let's see how much damage he might have sustained from that. Yeah, as you see there, a little bit of right front damage. We'll see how much that impacts him throughout this race. Three wide. That's the lap car of Chris James right there in the number 82. Guys are doing a good job working around him. Going back to the lead, Eric Wolf back to the lead. He's going to lead that lap. Some great racing we've seen up front, not even 20 laps in. Going back in the pack, Justin Musil, who we did see in the top 5, is all the way back to 10th. John Theodore right in front of him. These guys seem to have single filed out for the most part, excuse me. Thomas Harmon and Gary Cronenway in that 10 car. Going back up front, Anthony Burrows currently a leader. If I had to guess, I'm going to say we'll see maybe 25 lead changes by the time this race is over. These guys are swapping positions every single lap. It's a lot of fun to see. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. As you see there, it looks like Taylor got a bit of front end damage. Let's take a closer look at that. Oh yeah, he got quite a bit of damage. Let's see if we can try to see where that is from. Not quite sure. Not able to get to it. As you see, Richard Lucky now looking to the inside of his car. As he's able to make that pass for 7th. Everybody seems to have single filed out here now as we're left 22 of 133 here. Anthony Burrows, Eric Wolf off to a pretty good gap now as these cars are single filing out. The next two in line are Mike Lemon and Connor Lane. They're about a second and a half behind those two. And then we go to the next big packs led by Steven Turner in the 26. They're about 3 seconds behind the leader. As we see Chris James, that lap car in between Matthew Kleinsman and Richard Lucky of the 41. There's not a whole lot in the way of battles going on. Everybody seems to have single filed out, killing off some of these laps. We still have over 100 to go. As we see Logan here, started in the 20th spot, is currently up to 12th, just slowly working his way up to the lead. Still got plenty of time to do so. As we go into the gyro cam, we can see just how much banking is here at Kansas. As he's coming off the corner, coming to the start finish line, he's going to go flat onto the apron. And then he's going to get back onto it for the entry into turn 1. As we look onto John Mullins, he's riding the middle of the high line. You can see how much more banking there is between the low line and the high line. As he's riding here behind John Theodore. You see Thomas Harmon trying to make the pass on John Mullins on the inside. It looks like he will be able to complete it. John Mullins had a check up there. He had him burp the throttle, letting Thomas Harmon in. And there goes Logan in the 88 to the inside. Great racing we have around the 10th position. Wade Hustad currently in 12th. As we have just been joined by Martin Wenzel. Welcome to the booth, Martin. Glad to have you.
Yeah, iRacing, just doing some funny things.
That's alright. You missed quite a bit of great racing. We're currently 28 laps into this one. Anthony Burrows currently your leader, followed by Eric Wolf. They have just been on pace, setting a 3-second lap and growing over third place, Connor Lane. As we go back mid-pack, Thomas Harmon, followed by Logan in the 88, just passing Taylor Butcher Benjamin in that one corner. All 8 of these cars pretty much single file. The occasional pass happening, but these guys have settled down a lot since the initial start of this race. John Theodore, a driver who seems to be struggling at the moment. He started in 4th place. He's dropping all the way back to what will be 12th if Wade Hustad is able to get around him. As it looks like he will be able to as they single file back out entering turn 3. Joseph Helt, after sustaining that damage, it's all the way back to 23rd. Looks like we might be able to see where that front end damage from Taylor Butcher Benjamin happened, as the complete back panel of Joseph Helt's car is torn off. It's unfortunate we had missed that. Hopefully we can catch that in a replay later in this race. Going back up front is still Anthony Burris leading Eric Wolf by about 0.2 of a second. We'll have to go back 4 seconds to catch 3rd place Connor Lane. It's going to be 100 laps to go as Anthony Burris crosses the line right now. Gary Cronway in that 10's going to be looking to make a pass on Taylor Butcher Benjamin. I think that the impact Taylor had is definitely affecting his speed. He's just been dropping ever since. As you see Gary passing him right there. Next in line is the 99 of Jeremy Hebel. He started all the way back in 24th. He's currently 14th. As we ride on board with him. Look at that huge run he gets on Taylor. He had to check up there. He's going to do a crossover move on Taylor. He's going to try to pass him. Currently side by side, and he's able to clear him. Here's a great shot of all that damage Taylor has to the nose. Hey Martin, do you know exactly how much fuel these guys have? How many laps they can go on a tank?
Not exactly.
As we're approaching the...
Probably 40.
Oh, we have a caution. I'm not quite sure who that might be. It might be John Theodore, as he's pretty slow. Let's go on board with John Theodore, see if we can see what happened here. Across the start finish line, he's going to go into turn 1 there, and it looks like the 10 just clips him. Let's see if we can ride on board with the 10. Yeah, the 10 just hit the wall right there and comes down into the 27, John Theodore. Right there, makes the contact, and then into the 27 he goes. Does a great job getting down to the apron so nobody else makes contact with him. As the leaders are now coming down to pit. Martin, have you been able to successfully join the lobby?
Getting there.
As his leaders are taking their 4 tires and gas, we see Anthony Burris is off and away. And it looks like Eric Wolf is going to beat Anthony Burris off pit lane. A great pit stop by the 24 of Eric Wolf. He's going to take over this lead. Now I did see the 0-2, and there he goes back into pits. I knew he had all that damage. I did see him in front of the 24, but I didn't think he was going to stay out there with as much damage that he does have. Mike Lemon currently in 3rd place.
Fun track, especially a lot of history, especially from the first season of DRL, between the 24 and the 62 of Eric Wolf and Anthony Burrows.
Absolutely.
At that time, they were driving at different numbers. I think it was the 84. Wolf was driving the 84, and Burrows was the 15 back then. So that was a big race on the Last few laps, they got into each other, racing for the lead, and one of Burroughs' worst finishes that season. He also got caught up in a wreck right after that.
As we see Gary Cronway in the 10 still on pit road. I'm not sure if his night is finished. He did suffer a lot of damage on that incident with the 27. As the pace car lights are off, we will be going back green on lap 42. We see a few drivers pitting extra time to start on the back. Chris Lucky, Ryan Hesgard, Logan McNally in the 88. Well, Martin, glad you're with us, able to call the shots with me. Got a little bit lonely for the first 40 laps of the race.
Yeah, iRacing decided to get all weird on the spectating screen and say that this session was only the Ford Fusion, and then in my mind I thought the Ford Fusion was the new car. That's actually the Ford Mustang that they're introducing probably in the next few months, I would think, on iRacing.
Yeah, we're very excited to have that.
It said because I think it was because it was the only car for the session was the Ford Fusion. I then needed to buy it to get in.
As the pace car ducks off.
Refresh. Yeah, pace car coming off. Wolf gets a jump.
A nice start there by the 24 of Eric Wolf. He's going to lead him to the line. Connor Lane pushing Anthony Burroughs all he can on the high side as they enter turn 1. As you start to see the lights really reflect off these cars as it turns darker and darker. Mike Lemon going to be looking to take second place away from Anthony Burroughs. He has Matthew Kleinsman is pushing him on that low line. Oh, Mike Lemon going to look to take a 3 wide for the lead as they cross the start-finish line. It looks like he might have got that lap lead. Wow, what a move by Mike Lemon as he's going to take that lead. He's going to clear the 24, possibly the 62. He's going to have to watch out for that run by Anthony Burroughs on the backstretch. Looks like Eric Wolf.
I just got into this session, but I did one open race in the A cars, and yeah, it seems like drafting is a bigger thing now with this new package.
Yeah, some of the drivers were telling me, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the drivers were telling me this is like an IndyCar feel to it. A lot of aero push in these corners.
Battling for that 4th position, following along with Mike Lemon, Matt Kleinschmidt. Kleinschmidt started the season in the Grand National Series as a points driver, but scheduling has moved him up to the top series, so he's running for points. Got a long way to go to get back into the hunt. But quite the move from last season starting in the trucks, and now he's all the way up in the Cup Series this year.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be learning a lot here with these guys, but with people like Wade Hustad and Anthony Burroughs, I'm sure he'll be able to learn a lot and be a top contender soon enough in the Cup Series. As we see Connor Lane looking to work the outside of Anthony Burroughs to take that lead, but Eric Wolf goes low. He might even give Anthony a tap. Oh, he got pretty close there, but Anthony Burroughs, Eric Wolf working that inside line as they go into the apron. Mike Lemon right behind them, followed by Steven Turner.
Yeah, this part of the race when they're still close to each other is really fun to watch, and that's kind of why they changed the package. And we're seeing it here at Kansas. We're going to see it next week at Charlotte. We saw it at Auto Club. Texas didn't work out as well. We saw at this track tonight and at Auto Club, the more of a drafting situation, not as much as a Daytona or Talladega, but still, they run at each other's bumpers, tucking in there, trying to get the move, trying to slingshot around.
See a lot of blocking going on, a lot of aggressive moves. Still got plenty of laps here. As Thomas Harmon is now in the mix in the 68.
As I said, I don't know how much of it is the new package and the need for drafting, or if it's just the way these speedways always are. But I think there's that little bit extra element now of some drafting.
Yeah, this race is definitely a lot more exciting than compared to last year's. As we see Thomas Harmon moving into second place. He's going to try to take that lead on the backstretch as he's going to get side-by-side with the 62. Wade Husted all the way down to the bottom, trying to get around Taylor Butcher Benjamin. That will be for 9th.
Yeah, and just watching these races in recent weeks, just the different names we got running around in the top 10. Connor Lane and Burrows haven't been every race this season. They're running on the inside, fighting for that top 2 positions. Steve Turner back this week. Matt Kleinschmidt, I think this is his first race actually getting out on the track for a Cup Series race.
Thomas Harmon looking to the inside of Anthony Burrows. Eric Wolf is going to follow.
He's going to make a move. He's going to go into the lead. Eric Wolf trying to get by for second place. Behind all that, running 6th place is Spencer Tart. But we opened up the field. We talked about that last week, and maybe the week before that as well. We've talked about how guys got a lot of Grand National regulars jumping up and racing now with the restrictions being lifted on that, and third drivers being invited to come up.
Thomas,
they're competing. They're not just back of the pack kind of guys. I see. Like on my screen right now, you got Mike Lemon, Bill Edwards, and Ryan Hesgaard.
Ooh, close call there with Eric Wolf, almost getting up into the 59 of Matthew Kleinsmith.
Yeah, Kleinsmith's going to fall back. He's going to drop probably to 7th when all is said and done.
Let's take a quick look at that replay. As they enter turn 1 here, they're side by side with the 59 of Matthew Kleinsmith. As they come to the exit of turn 2, it looks like he thought he was clear and just almost put Kleinsmith into the wall.
Yeah, I just watched Wolf and Harmon. Harmon's now shot out to the lead again, and Wolf was right on his bumper. It looked like Talladega or Daytona. He was right under that bumper, as close as you can get. Was just pushing him past the 62.
Connor Lane gets into the wall. Yep, that'll open the door for Eric Wolf to take 3rd place.
Yeah, definitely something you do not see you did not see in previous years at Kansas or Charlotte or some of these 1.5-mile tracks, or 1.5-mile and larger tracks that we're going to see going forward with this new package.
Mike Lemon able to clear Connor Lane to take 4th away. As we start to see these cars are starting to single file out here, not so much pack racing-ish as you see on the restarts here.
Yeah, I was going to say that it was pretty, you were saying when I came into the broadcast that there was a good lead for Eric Wolf and Burrows, and then on his last restart they were together quite a bit, and the lead was moving between quite a few cars there. But now it has become a 3-car pack, gaining a little separation. But Connor Lane and Mike Lemon right back up in there. They're not gonna let it get too far away.
Yeah, I noticed on that first run, it did take about 25 laps for everybody to start to single file out and start to break away to that gap we did see Anthony Burris and Eric Wolf have. Right now, they're currently 19 laps into this run, and we already start to see they are single filing out. So I'm going to expect we see some gaps forming if these cars can single file out.
Yeah, Mike Lemon now making a move for third place. Like, the gap kind of opened up a little bit, and Lemon started reeling them right back in. Yeah, and I think that's, I mean, it's obviously we're driving a fixed setup, so you're not going to have the massive difference of setups making gaps, but the tire wear, who's saving their tires, who's able to run harder later in this run, that's where your gaps are going to develop.
Absolutely. As we see the 24 of Eric Wolf all over the back bumper of Thomas Harmon as they head into turn 3. As we go on board with Eric Wolf as they enter turn 1. Heard him have to get off the throttle a little bit there on exit. He's going to have this run. He might look to the inside. No, he decides to give him a push down the back straightaway. He's going to look to the outside now as Thomas Harmon ducks to the low line. Coming to the line, you just see how much of a run Eric Wolf gets. He had to get out of gas there. As all these guys are pretty single filed out. Not really any side-by-side action going on. We do have Jim Westerfield in the 4, someone we haven't really talked about tonight. Currently in the 16th position. He started 15th, so he's kind of hanging around where he started. Hasn't really done much tonight. Still got a long way to go, though. We'll see what happens towards the end of this one. Sorry about that. As we see Thomas Harmon going to perform a crossover move on Eric Wolf to take that lead back.
Actually, go back a little bit further. Bill Edwards. Looks like Edwards had a little trouble. I'm going to kind of rewind and see what I can see. Actually, the 2 and the 8 got into each other in front of Bill Edwards. Looks like the 8 was already scraping the wall. The 2 just couldn't hold it down far enough, and so the 2, the 8, and the 75 all making contact with each other. The 99, the 64, the 82 moving through the parting of the Red Sea.
Wow.
He was able to stay in front of them.
Yeah, that was what a save by Ryan Hesgaard, showing a lot of car control there.
Yeah, Hesgaard, I think he saw the 8 up into the wall, and the problem was, once you're kind of committed to a line, it's really hard.
Oh, Steven Turner sideways. He's around.
Right in front of Hesgaard. See this car going by.
Let's see if we can see what happened.
Yeah, I just rewinded. It looks like he just kind of caught the wall coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, it looks like he caught it and tried to save it, overcorrected, and into the wall again.
Yeah, clearly these guys are pushing the envelope. They're right on the edge because, again, these cars have incredible grip compared to last year. If I'm recalling right, and maybe I'm confusing this with the K&N car, but usually with the Cup cars, you wanted to drive them on that high line the whole way at Kansas, and you'd always be trying to not nail that wall coming out of turn 2 and 4 while you're driving on that high line as fast as possible. This year, you really can just drive anywhere, and then it really becomes how much you want to save your tires.
Yeah.
Seeing Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Turner making contact with the wall. Tire must have burned off for them a lot, or they're pushing it harder than they're comfortable with.
Yeah, that was a great job by Steven Turner, able to hold the brakes, and thank goodness for that apron, everybody able to get down onto the apron to avoid him.
Yeah, Hesgard was probably not too thrilled about seeing another car go up in the wall and come in front of him because he already has damage from the 8th, and it seems like the 8th, you were talking about the 8th as I was coming in, was involved in something earlier. Looking at Hesgard, he's got that right side damaged from making contact with the 8th who was in the wall. 8th obviously got right side damage and left side damage. All kinds of dings on that car. 75 also involved. He's got a little crumpled up in the front end, making contact with the 8th. And then the 26, significant right side damage, but
Thomas Harmon with a great pit stop of a 13.73. However, it is showing me Jim Westerfield in the lead.
no, I have Harmon in the lead. So Westerfield, it must just be catching up. Now, where is Westerfield? I don't even see his name. Hello, where? I think I'm going blind. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's showing up as 12th for me. Yeah, he's right now behind the pace car.
We'll see what happens. It might reset.
Let's see where he's going to be. Oh, yeah, he is in first, so he hasn't pit. I'd be surprised if he doesn't.
Ryan Hesgard heading back down pit road.
My guess is he's going to try to lead a lap here, but I'm not sure if that last lap counts as him leading it, even though he was out there in the lead. That's one piece of scoring information we don't get just on the basic iRacing results page, but
Let's see if we can pull in Matthew Kleinsman for a quick interview before he heads back for green flag racing. Hey, Matthew Kleinsman, this is the booth. You have a copy?
I do.
Well, Matthew, seeing what we're seeing off the restarts, you're being in the car. Tell us, how is it? How's this package? Any scary moments out there on the track?
Well, I think this will be another wild restart. You had a few moments when the guys in the low lane coming up in front of me, and I almost turned the 24. It was pretty wild, and kind of hurt my car a little bit there on that run. So we'll see what we got.
Alright, man. Well, as we're double filing up for this restart, we're going to let you go here and get back focused for this insane restart is probably the best term to put it. Good luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end.
All right, thanks.
so we've seen all day, we've had Eric Wolf and Anthony Burroughs out there battling out front. We go back to the 2017 season. That's when that big battle between them. Eric Wolf won that race. That was July 2017, July 25th. Anthony Burroughs ended up finishing 19th in that race because he got caught up in a wreck late. That was probably his worst. That's actually his worst DRL Cup Series finish, is that Kansas race, which was a gem of a race between those two guys. But this is Eric Wolf's track. He finished second last year at Kansas at this race last year. So first and second, he's looking for his second win, restarting in second place. Thomas Harmon, the control car, gets the launch.
Great restart there by Thomas Harmon. Anthony Burroughs looks like he's going to clear Eric Wolf and take second place away. Ooh, Wow, taking a 3 wide is Eric Wolf, Anthony Burr, excuse me. Kind of lane to the outside, and then there's Wade Hustad showing his face about halfway through this race. He's currently in 5th.
Yeah, he's now in the top 5. Right behind him, Mike Lemon and Spencer Tart still lurking. Matt Kleinschmidt as well. A little bit of a shuffle up. Steve Turner. Turner's out of the car after that wreck. He was eyeing up a little bit in this top 5. Was in that area. But now right behind them you see Jeremy Hebel, John Mullins coming into the screen. 3 wide right now, Dakota Wilkins, Joseph Helt, Ryan Hensgaard, and Dustin Musial.
Looks
Harmon
like
dropping all the way back to 5th now. Actually 6th. Matt Kleinschmidt making a move.
looks like a little lag there from the 8.
But definitely a crazy restart. Everyone right on top of each other still. 24 and the 62, still battling hard, but the 28, Spencer Tart, he wants to get involved in this action for the lead.
Yes, he
Looking for
does.
his first Cup Series win.
Matthew Kleinsman, we just spoke to him to the inside Thomas Harmon. He's wanting a top 5 tonight. That would be a great showing by him. Oh, contact there between Spencer Tart and Connor Lane. Both doing a good job keeping the cars straight as they head into turn 1 now.
Well, this race is really exciting with the different guys, the different names up there in the top 5.
Wow, what a block by Eric Wolf, putting Anthony Burris all the way below that white line.
But these guys we see in the top 5, these are guys we need to see step up, show up the races. As the 5 makes it 3 wide, squeezing past the 59. These are names we need to see step up because we did lose some other big names earlier this season with the switch over to the new package.
Things are getting intense, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we look here right now, Spencer Tart, Matt Kleinschmidt, 2nd and 3rd. Kleinschmidt's working for 3rd place with Anthony Burrows. Those 2 guys, those are Truck Series guys last year, and here they are battling in the top group here at Kansas. 62 gives a shot to the 24. Is 3 wide behind them. Wolf, and Burrows and Tart. And then, well, now Connor Lane has moved out of that 3 wide battle, but the 3 wide is developing again with Hustad sticking his nose in there.
As you see, Jeremy Hebel has now entered the top 10. Right behind him is Ryan Hesgaard.
And this is what they wanted. This is why they changed. They're fiddling with the package. They kind of want to get racing like this. They want to, if you can have racing like this is where it gets exciting. They want to kind of have, it's not Daytona where you need to be on top of each other the whole way for there to be any racing at all. And actually there's a lot more moving than there is at Daytona or Talladega. Tends to be 2 lines and they kind of get strung out. It's just 2 lines driving next to each other the whole way. Here we have 2, 3 lines developing, guys moving up and down, trying to find a hole. This is what the new package is about. And with successful races like this,
Although it is very exciting to watch this, like with the cars being this close, one wrong move in the front could take out half the field, and then there's not really much of a race.
Yeah, there is the drawback, and that's the same thing that you get at Daytona and Talladega, is that it's exciting. But I will say that a race like this or Auto Club we saw earlier this season are more exciting for me than Daytona or Talladega because there is the movement. Whereas Daytona and Talladega, it's very much based on the length of the line, and you just get those runs. Here we're seeing Wolf and Burrows go from the high line to the low line to block each other. Connor Lane has been everywhere in that group, and you see 3 wide, and then it goes to 4 wide, and then back to 2. Much more exciting, but there is that potential, obviously, of a big wreck taking out all the contenders, and then we're left with not much of a race afterwards.
Quite a battle going on in mid-pack around 9th with Joseph Holt.
Yeah, kind of. I was going to say there's two packs developing, but there's almost, you got the lead pack, then you got 32 and the 99, Hustad and Hebel. And then you got that pack of 7 cars. Mike Lemon scrapes the wall right in front of John Mullins, Dakota Wilkins. On the inside, the S2R guys of Hesgard and Edwards. Chris James getting by Joseph Helt. It's kind of interesting when we talk about now the S2R guys, because you have the S2R Cup guys who are that's Harmon, I think Hustad and Joseph Helt. And then you have the guys coming up from the Grand National Series, James Lorello, Ryan Hesgard, Phil Edwards. Starting to get a little bit strung out now, but still a battle between Harmon, Wolf, and Burrows for the lead. Spencer Tart and Connor Lane trying to get back in the thick of it, along with Hustad. Matt Kleinschmidt starting to drop back. Jeremy Hebel moves into 7th. Chris James eyeing up 8th place. And contact between Hesgard, and I think that was the 4 of Jim Westerfield. Hesgard's going to go into the grass. If that was the 4.
Looks like Hesgard was able to save it.
The 41. Hesgard and
Richard Lucky
make contact. Hesgard goes into the grass. He saves it, but he's going to be well behind the pack now. And you can look at Hesgard's speed. He's going 172 miles per hour right now. While in the pack, I'm just picking out a random car. Let's go with Richard Lucky, the guy he made contact with, is going 181. So that's about a 10 mile per hour difference. So there is some drafting going on. There is that. It's going to give you an advantage. And you get out of that, you're dragging behind.
Unfortunately, my ATVO is freezing up a little bit, so it's not as responsive as it was in the beginning of the race. As you see, the top 4 kind of starting to separate. Spencer Tar's that 5th car in line. It's about a half-second difference between the top 4 to 5th place.
Yeah, almost 20 laps since the last yellow. About the place where it starts to thin out. Thomas Harmon makes a little contact with the 62. Made him a little uncomfortable. Looked like 62 not expecting the bump at that point. Hustad making the pass for 5th place, easily passing the 28. Chris James also going to move into battling now for 6th. Hart is dropping back. Mike Lemon working his way back into his top group.
Chris Lucky has come down pit road.
I'm going to go back and see what that's about.
As we see a battle for 8th between Mike Lemon and Jeremy Hebel. Joseph Helt and Matthew Kleinsman side by side as well for 10th. Oh, Spencer Tar hits the wall there. Chris James is going to get to his inside. Little wiggle there by the 82. He's not going to get the run that he wanted. Chris Lucky, yeah, 14.6. That looks like maybe a scheduled pit stop.
Because he just was driving along and just decided, I'm coming down.
You know, with 44 laps to go,
Butcher Benjamin makes contact with, let's see, it looks like it was the 53 of Dakota Wilkins. I think Wilkins trying to see if he hit the wall. No, he just goes into the turn. Yeah, he got loose. It starts going sideways. Had to brake to save it. The 8 runs right into him. 8 chiming up over the radio, taking offense at that at first. I think he's realized now that it's just a mistake. He made a similar mistake earlier in the race. He made contact with the wall. Him and Hesgaard actually now working together are going to start having to work together to kind of try to reel in the main group.
I tried to get a replay of that, but I was unable to. Sorry about that, everybody. As we go back up front, Eric Wolf is leading Anthony Burris, followed by Thomas Harmon and Connor Lane. Then we have to go way back to 5th place, Wade Hustad.
Things starting to get spread out now. Everything's single file. The first side-by-side battle we can see is Bill Edwards making a move on John Mullins for 14th. And now Joseph Helt and Logan McAnally side-by-side battling for, that would be 12th. Mike Lemon makes contact, so Joseph Helt's going to be able to move into 11th as well.
Wade Hustad started tonight all the way back in 23rd, currently in 5th. Definitely the biggest mover of the race tonight.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of contact there again. Almost some contact with 99 and the 59. Looks like there was a little bit of neck code. I saw some sparks come off the wall, so I think the 99 probably actually hit the wall there. But on my screen he was about half a lane off. But the way his car moved, it looked like he hit the wall with his rear end. Kind of came down, and the 59 had to make some quick evasive action to avoid that. 99 almost gets the wall again coming out of turn 4. So Jeremy Hebel struggling on these tires, about almost 30 laps in on this run.
As you see here, Matthew Kleinsman to the inside of Logan.
Dropping back. Wade Hustad moving ahead of Connor Lane, 4th place. There's a gap, and then we have Chris James. And then we get to that pack of Spencer Tart, Jeremy Hebel, Richard Lucky, and Logan McAnally. A little bit of accordion effect there as Spencer Tart. Hebel was right on Spencer Tart's bumper, and as Tart went into the turn, Hebel had to let up a little bit.
As we see Thomas Harmon looking to make a pass on Eric Wolf, that is for the lead. I don't think he's going to be able to clear him, though, as Eric Wolf is going to have to run on the back straight. And Eric Wolf shuts the door on Thomas Harmon.
More wall contact, 99. I'm going to go back to review that again. 99 right there with the 28. He makes wall contact again. Sparks fly. Actually, it was a 28 making contact with the wall, and 99 got to the inside of him and kind of slowed everyone up. The 99, the big loser out of all that. Who's going to fall back? 2 or 3 positions. There goes Spencer Tart again into the wall. Tart is struggling mightily. He's becoming a roadblock. Got a big clump of cars behind him now. And he keeps fading up into that wall coming out of the turns. And he has to really apply the brake or at least let up a lot. Not so bad there coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, as
But
we see
very dangerous position.
Mike Lemon looking to make a pass on him before anything serious happens. Matthew Kleinsman lost some momentum. Joseph Hill looking to the inside, but Spencer Tarr moves low. Might be trying to avoid that wall or trying to let him go.
Yeah, I said Jeremy. Well, it looks like him and Bill Edwards are now going to come down pit road. Spencer Tarr and Bill Edwards coming down pit road for their scheduled pit stop. Now, I said the 99 was a big loser of Tarr hitting the wall a few times there. It was actually everyone behind Tarr except for Logan McAnally, who was able to go out to a nice gap between him and that pack. He was able to get down low while the rest of them were kind of trapped behind Spencer Tarr.
Going back up front, Eric Wolf has about a 0.4 of a second lead over Anthony Burrows. Wade Husad able to get by Connor Lane is now in third.
And Chris James running fifth. So he's been quietly made his way up into fifth place. And I think Thomas Harmon came down pit road, right? Yep. So I think, we got a caution.
Caution.
S2R. Now, the thing with S2R, though, is they just came in for their pit stop, so they're going to be able to stay out.
I'm not quite sure who that was on.
Matt Kleinschmidt kind of getting a little grumpy. He's on pit road, but it's not the end of the world for him. He won't have to come back down.
Trying to find who that was on. I'm just not quite sure.
Yeah, that was Spencer Tarr. I think that's Spencer Tarr coming out of pit road, actually. So we said Tart was coming out of pit road, or was down there with Bill Edwards. Comes out of pit road and just loses it. He missed a shift, blows his engine, and slides up enough to bring out the yellow flag. Comes out onto the track just a bit, and that's gonna be the end of his day. I think he blew the engine. Just missed a shift, shifted into the wrong thing.
Oh yeah.
Pit road there.
Yeah, seeing the replay now, he just snaps sideways and you can hear his engine go. And yeah, his back is on the track. That's what brought out the caution. So, unfortunate end to his night. He was running pretty well.
Yeah, so down pit road now we got Eric Wolf, Connor Lane, Richard Lucky, Joseph Helt, Mike Lemon, Chris James, Dustin Musial, Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Still on the track, Anthony Burrows might have been in the process of coming down before. And then all of our, well, not all of the S2R guys. Wade Hustad's also down there. Spencer Tart, obviously with the damage. But Thomas Harmon, Chris Lucky's still out there. Jim Westerfield hasn't come down yet. But Bill Edwards, I think John Mullins, Matt Kleinschmidt, Ryan Hesgard, Anthony Burrows, I think those guys have all come down to pit road just as that yellow flag was coming out. Now the question is, I think Chris Lucky and Jim Westerfield are still going to need to come in to pit. In which case, that would put Bill Edwards in the lead on this restart.
According to what I have, it shows Eric Wolf is in the lead. I think everybody in front of him got pinned a lap down while pitting.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, they're still a lap down, so. But because they're a lap down, they'll be easily get back on. They don't have to go down pit road to pit again. Now, I don't know about Chris Lucky and Jim Westerfield. I don't remember if they actually went down, but I do know Bill Edwards. Bill Edwards went with Spencer Tart. He was coming out. Hesgard got down there with them. Kleinschmidt was in pits. I think him and John Mullins were in the pits when the yellow came out and hadn't gotten out yet. I feel like Wade Hustad came down with the rest of the leaders, so he didn't go with S2R. So we'll see how it shakes out.
And all these cars are going to get the wave around as the pace car lights are out. We're going to be double filing here for the restart, and we're going to have, looks like 27 laps to go.
Now I'm trying to find, where did he go? Where did the 62 go? 62 is Anthony Burrows all the way back into 14th. So he must have had some issues on pit road. He is at the tail end right now of this lead group of cars. Obviously the guys, Bill Edwards will slide in behind him. Chris Lucky, 15th, will be on the outside. Jim Westfield will be behind Burrows. Burrows now mid-pack. And the front row is Eric Wolf and Wade Hustad. So Hustad hasn't been up front the whole time this race, but here he is in a moment of truth.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on Anthony Burrows. With under 30 laps to go, we're going to see just how aggressive he is to get back to the lead. As
I said, this is Eric Wolf's track. He takes off. Eric Wolf finished first in 2017, second last year, and he's looking for another win.
Another great restart by Eric Wolf as they head onto the back stretch. Connor Lane getting pushed by Logan in the 88 all over the back bumper. Has a really good run under Eric Wolf, but it looks like Eric's going to be able to block as Connor almost takes the apron in the middle of the corner. Chris James looking to make a 3 wide.
On that restart, a little bit of graping from the 64, John Mullins. It looked like Bill Edwards giving him a little bit of a block going into turn 1. Didn't appreciate that.
Connor Lane was thinking about moving to the outside, but Eric Wolf is willing to block.
Yeah, Logan McAnally right up there now. So his top 5 has definitely changed in complexion.
Also Richard Lucky in the 41.
Yeah. Eric Wolf, Connor Lane's been up there, but then
Jeremy Hebel.
Logan McAnally, Chris James, Richard Lucky, Jeremy Hebel, and Anthony Burrows already right back into it. Didn't take him too long. But he does have a lot of traffic in front of him between him and Wolf. He's going to, looked like he was going to move up in front of Hustad.
He's going to have to be careful here with all this moving around. Any mistake might end all of these guys' nights. Oh, and there it is.
He gets an Eric Wolf, and that's it. Wolf is not going to win today.
Wow.
I saw that coming from a mile away, and yeah, Wolf started coming up. Who do we go with the blame? I think Wolf is coming up. Connor Lane.
Take another look here.
Yeah,
Crossing the line, both Connor and Eric on the apron as they both start to move up. It looks like
Connor does not continue the same angle of moving up as Wolf, but that's I kind of want to say that's on Wolf because Lane was saying I'm staying in his lane, and
yeah, it's really tough to tell. Connor Lane did have Logan above him, so I'm assuming that's why Connor.
Lane could have easily moved up and kept he had room, but yeah, that took out that was the big wreck, and I'll pull back here and see if I can. Yeah, Richard Lucky gets by that, no damage. He almost makes contact with the 99, but I think 82, 99, 41, 62 of Burrows get through clean. 68. So I'm going to go through the carnage here. 24, the 5, and the 88, they're done. The 32 gets collected, the 68, the 38, Mike Lemon. Joe Helt might get a little damage from that.
Let's see if he can ride on board with the 38, Mike Lemon.
Yeah, you go right along.
He's right behind Jeremy Hebel. As you can see, the contact.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I was on board with Anthony Burrows. That's my apologies. All right, now let's ride along with Mike Lemon. as I cross the line, you can see kind of laying in the middle there. Then you see, you just see Eric Wolf go straight up. Mike Lemon nowhere to go. Logan's on top of his car. All you see is the bottom of Logan's vehicle, and around he goes.
Yeah, and it's because Wolf started moving up, and Lane kind of stayed at the same, did not go with Wolf.
On board with Logan here as they enter turn 1. Logan went for a heck of a ride.
Alright, so let's see how this shuffles out. Right now I got Chris James to lead, but Jeremy Hebel's in front of him, and I don't know why Hebel would be down a lap now. So let's see. Yeah, Hebel is our leader. Hebel is a truck regular. And he is the top guy right now with less than 20 laps to go when the green flag comes down. I was saying this is Eric Wolf's race. Finished first in 2017, second last year, and he is, well, he's not going to finish top 5 today.
Let's see if we can pull in Logan for an interview.
Yeah, see if he's still around.
Hey Logan, this is the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Hey man, we just saw what you went through in your cockpit view, spinning around, looking at the sky. Can you tell us, did you see it coming? Were you expecting it?
Yeah, I heard 3 wide, and then all of a sudden I was up at the catch pit.
Yeah, it looked like a crazy restart. All race has been pretty crazy. You started in the back, able to work your way up front. Did you enjoy this package? Is it something you hope to see each and every week?
Yeah, it was fun. You could move around, and once you got 30 laps on the tires, it was really good to drive. But yeah, I'd like to see it stick around for a little.
Alrighty, man. Well, an unfortunate end to your day. Looked like you had a top 5 for sure. Is there any shout-out you'd like to give before we let you go?
Nah, not really.
Alrighty, man. Well, it's too bad about the end of this one, but I hope you stick around to see the end of this, and we'll see you next week for the All-Star race.
See you then.
Understandably not in a talkative mood, but yeah, he's not blaming the package for it, but the package does lead to that pack racing, and again, that's what it's going to be great for the viewers. It's going to be frustrating for some drivers, just as Daytona and Talladega always are, when you're just racing and racing, and then suddenly race is over for 10 cars at a time. So we're 2 wide. Let's kind of go through who's left. Jeremy Hebel, Chris James on the front row, Richard Lucky, Anthony Burrows. So Anthony Burrows, he might actually get his best finish at Kansas in his Cup career after that wreck. Burrows has not had, I think his best finish is 4th place last year, 19th in 2017. Joe Helt and Taylor Butcher Benjamin, wow, right away, Chris James ducked down that.
He thought about it, but he turned right. I don't think that's considered changing his lane because he never officially moved.
Yeah, well, I think if you mentioned it, we don't have a dedicated race control tonight. I'm not going to get involved throwing a penalty there, but that might be something that needs to be looked at, or at least given a warning, because that was kind of a lane change. Yeah, he didn't commit completely to it, but he obviously was changing lanes, and he slowed up to 41. Now, in the end, it doesn't really do much, because everyone's right on top of each other anyway.
Yep, Chris James is going to be taking the lead here with Anthony Burrows, probably the favorite now to win tonight's race. I don't want to play favorites, but he's looking to push James past Hebel so Anthony can get the lead himself.
Yeah, we're looking at this group of cars out there. We have a couple truck guys. That's going to be Hebel and Dakota Wilkins further back. We got Hesgard as a Grand National guy. Everyone else is Cup Series drivers, so...
Joseph Hell, who had that major damage earlier, currently in 4th place. 3 wide behind him.
Joe Helt barely got through that wreck that just happened. Car flipped over his hood. I think might have got some roof damage. might be a scrape on his roof because the car went flying over his
Ooh,
bump.
Hebel almost came up into the 62.
Whoa. Big cloud of smoke from that. Got the Lucky brothers side by side. Chris Lucky down below the white line, coming back up in front of the 41. So the 41 who started, I think he restarted fourth there, third or fourth, has now dropped back.
Jimmy
99
Hebel.
and the 82 working that inside line.
Jimmy Hebel all over the back bump for the 82, trying to keep him in front of the Anthony Burroughs. He's doing a great job with that.
Contact between Musel and the two of Ryan Hesgaard. Hesgaard's going to go sideways.
Oh, Musel through the grass.
Musel had it.
That might be a caution.
And then he lost it.
Oh, yeah, I think that's going to be a caution.
Might bring, well, yep, there's going to be a caution because Bill Edwards was in the area.
Let's see if we can
Musel had,
take a replay of that.
Because he had it. It looked like he had it. Oh, I guess he never actually saved it. Because I was focused more on Hesgaard saving it. Hesgaard easily saved his car.
That's the second time tonight Hesgaard had a save like that.
Yeah, Musel never got it resaved.
Nope, and through the grass he goes.
Yeah, Hesgaard's probably getting a little annoyed that he's been turned sideways a few times this race.
And this is going to be a very interesting restart as we get closer and closer to 10 laps to go.
Yeah, so the restart's probably going to be with 9 or 10 laps to go.
And as we all saw, these cars don't spread out easily until about 20-25 laps, so it's going to be a pack finish. Pack racing to the finish.
So right now it's Chris James, Anthony Burroughs, Jeremy Hebel, Joseph Helt, and Matt Kleinschmidt. That's your top 5. They're going to be everyone's probably going to be going down into the pits, unless someone really wants to gamble. We've seen it here at Kansas. People have gambled.
And there goes Chris James, and it looks like he's going to pull the rest of them with him. I don't think anybody stayed out. Maybe Ryan Hesgaard.
Hesgaard stayed out. So Hesgaard's he's going to try to get some points. I don't know why Hesgaard's staying out, actually. He's not down a lap, so he's not getting anything back. Well, let me see. Yeah, he's not getting anything back. He's just going to lead a lap. But he's not running for points, so there's no reason for that. Butcher Benjamin, Chris Lucky, Dustin Musel was involved in that incident with Hesgaard, Jim Westerfield. So we're all coming off pit road. Let's see who gets off first. Jim Westerfield leads them off of pit road.
Looks like he took 2 tires with a 7.2 second stop.
Alright, so it's Jim Westerfield, Anthony Burroughs, Chris James. So Chris James and Burroughs flipping positions. But the big winner off of pit road is Jim Westerfield. He's taking that gamble on 2 tires. And it's Jeremy, Hebel, everyone else come out basically in the same order they came in. Hebel, Helt, Kleinschmidt, Butcher Benjamin, Chris Lucky, Dakota Wilkins, Richard Lucky, and Dustin Musel. So Jim Westerfield making the move. He's making that gamble. Ryan Hesgaard might be making the biggest gamble. He's not running for points, but he wants to secure a win.
Now, although I do not know how effective 10-lap-old tires are, we're going to see here if this affects the inside line at all when Ryan Hesgaard controls them on the restart.
It's not a ton of wear. It's only like a 1 or 2% wear after 10 laps, but that's wear. There's a difference. Now, Ryan Hesgaard, he's already got 1 win in the Cup Series. He won at Talladega. He's looking for a second one, so he has the opportunity to race up here. He wants to show he belongs, and this might be the start of him making the move to the Cup Series for the 2020 season. So far, he raced at Talladega. That was his first Cup Series race this season. Won that race. So that's Talladega. Anything can happen, and now we're talking Kansas. Anything can happen, right? Last week at Dover, finished 22nd, got wrecked out.
I'm going to pull in Wade Husted, see if we can have a quick word with him over that incident he was involved in.
Yeah.
Hey, Wade Husted, this is the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I sure do.
Well, Wade, we were going to catch you last caution, but the restart had occurred. So take us through that wreck. That was a wild ride you had there.
Yeah, we were just talking about it, that we had pretty much evaded all the crashing early on, and it was kind of seeming like it was going to come that go-around. So we were up front. We were slowly started weighing back, worked way up to the front, and figured we had to really go for it and push. And it just came to fruition that we had nowhere to go and got collected up in it. But, you know, the ride was pretty wild, and I'm sitting here trying to repair a couple more minutes here so I can make a few more laps and hopefully gain a few more positions.
Well, as we know, you started 23rd tonight, and you were able to work your way through the pack pretty easily. What do you think of this package? Are you a fan of it?
I'm a fan of it if I'm out front. I'm not a fan of it if I get wrecked, so kind of take it or leave it. Right now it's fun, but it's just white-knuckle racing. There's really no way to save tires, and you just kind of have to go for it. So it's fun, but it's just not the same Kansas anymore.
Alrighty, well, thank you for speaking with us. Before we let you go, is there any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, I just want to thank Horse Graphics and everybody on S2R that gets together for these races.
Alrighty, well, it's unfortunate about your nice excuse me there, but we're going to let you go as we're about to take this restart once again.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Hesgard gets a jump. Burrows is going to run right past the 4-car Jim Westerfield, so those two tires, not an advantage, but that's also being on the outside. So we're going to see how long can Hesgard last on those old tires. He took nothing.
I don't think it's going to be very long. It's Burris all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah,
It's going to
Burrows
look to
flying
get
over.
by him.
Oh, contact between the 82 and the 4. The 4 is, oh, there you go. The 82 just drives it right in there. That's going to bring out another yellow flag.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
There's the yellow. Wow, Hesgard. It looks like Hesgard almost went over the fence.
Jimmy
That's
Hebel.
not Hesgard. That's Hebel. Wow, Hebel got some air on that one. That's the biggest crash I've ever seen a car take in iRacing. He went up into the catch fence. He was all the way.
It looked like he bounced off the top of the safer barrier.
Yeah, he bounced off. Yeah, he got up in the top of the fence where it curves over. That's what kept him in the track.
On board with Jimmy Hebel here as you see him. Wow, what a ride.
Huh.
That's insane. Let's go on board with Chris James if we can.
Yeah, and it's getting intense it's getting really intense in the race chat.
Yeah, Chris James saw the hole, but it looks like Hesgard tried to close it up.
Yeah, and Hesgard's angry because he thinks Chris James ran him over. Chris James is blaming Hesgard because Hesgard got the old tires.
Oh, sorry about that.
I'd say, unless Chris James is being too aggressive, though, you have to be careful. You know the guy's there. You know he's racing. I'm not taking sides on this. Obviously it's debatable. It's like, which one do you do?
Yeah, just contact there and then melee behind him.
Yeah, Hesgard as a non-points driver maybe shouldn't be taking that risk. But the end of this race has definitely turned into a wreck fest.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be hearing some of it in the boxing ring afterwards.
Oh, my goodness. There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing race control or as series admins we can do to make the end of this race different. It's just that's the hard racing. These guys are being aggressive and they're driving. No amount of rules is going to change what happened those last two wrecks. It's those guys are just going in. I will say that I think Chris James, I think there could have been a little bit more patience there. I also think Hesgard did make a little bit of a move down to try to block Chris James, and that wasn't the smartest move on Hesgard's part either.
As this will be the final restart, it's going to be under 5 to go, so another caution will end the race. Anthony Burris is currently your leader, followed by both the Lucky brothers, Chris Lucky and Richard Lucky. And then we have
been pretty,
Taylor Butcher Benjamin in 4th, and Chris James, who we just saw in that incident, in 5th.
Yeah, I'm going to go through. I'm going to look at their cars closely to see who's got damage. Burrows is pretty much clean. The Lucky brothers both pretty much clean as well. Then we get to Butcher Benjamin. He's got a lot of front end damage. Chris James looks pretty clean on the front end. A little bit of right side damage. On the left side, pretty scraped up. Then it's Dustin Musial. Dustin Musial actually is pretty clean. He's probably got a little bit of scrapes on both sides. Ryan Hesgar's missing the front end. Jeremy Hebel's missing the front end and is smoking. He's probably going to be coming down pit road. His engine's gone. Thomas Harmon looking pretty clean, so I think Harmon is going to have a shot at gaining some positions on this restart. Joe Helt, the same thing. Pretty clean on the front end, a little bit of damage. Wade Hustad back on the track, 15th. He's down 14 laps. So those are the cars still out there running. Bill Edwards still coming around. He's missing the front end. Dakota Wilkins, some front end damage on the hood. This is going to be an incredibly wild restart because you got Anthony Burrows and those Lucky brothers and then some damaged cars. Thomas Harmon's got to weave through that to get in striking distance. Not to mention this is going to be a 5-lap shootout.
Yes, it is. Anthony Burris is going to lead us to this green flag. It should be an exciting finish.
Anthony Burrows looking for his best finish at Kansas in DRL. His best finish so far is 4th last season. And I thought this race was gonna be a repeat of 2017 between Burrows and Wolf, the way that they were racing early on. Wolf has been knocked out, and now it's gonna be a race between Burrows and the Lucky brothers, and we'll see what those guys behind them can give them in the next 5 laps. Burrows takes off. Chris Lucky in the 77. He's going to slide in front of his brother. They're going to go single file. Doesn't look like they have anything for Burrows initially. I think it tightens back up once everyone gets up to speed, though. And Taylor Butcher Benjamin, so 4 cars kind of staying with each other. The rest of them sliding back up to Musial. Thomas Harming moving around the slower car of Chris James.
Looks like a 5-man race, maybe 4-man. I don't know if Dustin Musial has anything.
Oh, and Chris Lucky's going to get the outside. I think he gave him a little bump, the 62.
Richard Lucky's going to give him the push.
Yeah, getting in tandem.
Oh, man, what a way to do it around Anthony Burris.
Chris Lucky might be looking for might be on his way to earning his 2nd win.
Yep. He had his first win early in the year, and there he goes, down in front of Anthony Burris. Chris Lucky to the lead. Richard Lucky side by side with Anthony Burris.
And we know why Lucky won at Atlanta. That was because Burrows got a little aggressive on the with John Theodore at Atlanta, and Lucky was able to sneak through for the win.
And we know
that's usually out of character for Burrows, though. He's not a guy who's going to give you a bumper and knock you out of the way like he did with John Theodore. He just made a bad judgment. He's right on the bumper of Lucky.
We all know how good Burris is. Lucky's going to have to use that mirror 80% of the time to keep him behind him.
Yeah, and he has no help. Richard is falling back.
Going to be 2 to go.
Burrows has the outside. He's got... And he moved by Lucky up, and there's going to be another wreck, so they're really close now. I see a puff of smoke. I'm not sure what that was from. Looks like Wade Hustad, and Hustad might have lost his engine there.
Yeah, I have a feeling he did.
What that was. We're focused on this race for the lead. Burrows.
It's going to be white flag. We're racing to the line.
That's so close that Burrows switching lanes or Lucky switching lanes, that could wreck all 3 of these cars and let Dustin Musial possibly win this race. All right, we're on the back stretch. Burrows still eyeing that outside. It looks like he's going to go now. It's time to go.
I have a feeling no matter what, Richard Lucky's going to stick with Chris. I don't know if Anthony Burris is going to have a chance. As you see there, Richard Lucky sliding underneath Anthony Burris. Oh, a little bump there. Oh, another bump. Chris
That's gonna be
Lucky
1,
is
2,
your
3.
winner.
A lucky sandwich, Anthony. I'd say is that a burro sandwich or a lucky sandwich? I mean, we don't call it a bread sandwich. So that was a burro sandwich between the Lucky brothers. But Chris Lucky earns his second win of the season, and he definitely earned that racing.
Gonna watch it again here.
Win. That was a great finish. Richard Lucky, I think I don't want to say Richard Lucky did that on purpose there, but
I don't think so.
He might have run into Burrows there, just a slow Burrows
As they
up a
come
little
off
bit.
turn 4, Chris Lucky hit him a little, and then Richard Lucky ended up making contact once again. Richard Lucky able to save it though, and comes home third.
Finishes third.
So we
That was beautiful work by those brothers. That's a built-in teamwork, right? That's built-in teamwork for those guys. Obviously they are teammates. They have the same paint scheme. The 41 and the 77 Burrows. It was all Burrows could do to just stay in second place with those two guys working in tandem. That's the most natural teamwork you're going to see out there all season. And Chris Lucky gets his second win. I'm sure Richard Lucky would have loved to have been the guy in front, but he still wanted to get his brother Chris out to the win.
Yeah, that win would have helped Richard lock himself into the playoffs. Let's pull in Chris Lucky for the interview. Hey, Chris Lucky, this is Broadcast Booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, JP, I got you.
Well, man, there's not much I can say. What a finish to that race. Walk us through it.
Yeah, the finish, me and Richie were kind of game planning there before we went back green. And falling into the bottom line, it wasn't in our game plan, but the gap was there. So I did it, and the first chance I had, I knew we had to do it right away. Jumped up to the top. Richie followed me, pushed me. I mean, that was more him than it was me. So thank you, Richie.
Was there any doubt in your mind that Richard might have either gone with Burrows or tried to make it 3 wide to win it himself?
No, I knew when we were talking, it was kind of whoever had the best shot at Anthony, the other one of us was going to push. So I knew he was going to go with me. He actually told me he wasn't going to push the 62 at all if I was up there.
All right, Martin, do you have anything for Chris?
No, that's just amazing the way you've won your races this season. Getting no pun in, well, I guess all pun intended, but getting lucky 2 times there. But also, I'd say this race definitely more skill because you still had to win that race in the last 5 laps. So congratulations on your second win of the season. That was awesome to watch. Awesome finish to the race.
Yep, thanks guys. Yeah, early on in the race, I just kind of rode around back because I knew there were going to be cautions. So just kind of found myself in the right spot with the right guy behind me. So
yeah,
he did a good job too.
Able to avoid both the big ones tonight and bringing it home in victory lane. Before we let you go, any shout outs you'd like to give?
Just to my brother for helping me and building my rig, and I mean that's pretty much it. You guys up in the booth, anybody watching on YouTube, and my fellow competitors. You guys are all great.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the win, and we'll see you next week for the All-Star race.
All right. Thanks, JP. Thanks, Martin.
That was Chris Lucky, your winner here tonight. Now we're going to pull in Anthony Burrows, finishing second. Here he is. Hey, Anthony Burrows, this is Broadcast Booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, that was a heck of a restart. You were in the lead on the restart. Walk us through. You had both the Lucky brothers with you. What was your game plan to try to break them up and hopefully win it yourself?
Well, since I was in the lead of the restart, I was kind of my plan was just to keep it around the inside the entire time. I didn't really do the best job of, I think, first got to my inside, something like that. And yeah, when you have 2 people working like that against you, it's kind of tough. But I mean, they're brothers, teammates. I can't really blame them for working together. But yeah, that was a great finish though. It was nice and clean between us 3. So yeah, overall tonight was a pretty good race. It was a lot better than I was expecting.
Yeah, we did have a couple big ones, but tonight you started in the mid-pack. Was that your game plan, trying to start on the back and work your way up, or was that just kind of poor qualifying effort?
I actually didn't get my second lap in during qualifying. Yeah, so I knew I'd have to get up to the front right away because, yeah, on the long runs it gets really tough to pass. You just need all the track position you can get. So, yeah, my game plan was just to get right up to the front right off the bat.
Alrighty, Martin, do you have anything for Mr. Burrows?
Well, it's your best finish at Kansas. Last year you got fourth. This year you get second. That first year we mentioned it a lot. We thought, and this race was looking like it was going to shape up that way. It was going to be a battle between you and Wolf, reminiscent of that 2017 battle, which kind of ended on a sourly for you. But great race, staying around there, avoiding all those late wrecks, and continuing the great season.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Alrighty, Anthony, before we let you go, do you have any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, definitely shout out for you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thank you to everyone who watched. Shout out to the S2R guys for working with me, and yeah, I think that's about it.
Awesome, man. Congrats again on your second place finish, and we'll see you next week at the All-Star race.
All right, thank you.
That was Anthony Burrows, the second place finisher here tonight. Let's pull in the third place finisher and the brother of the winner. Hey, Richard Lucky, this is broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you, James.
Well, man, what a finish, what a race. You and Chris working together very well there at the end. Walk us through it.
Just a good race. I don't really like this package, running wide open like that, but it is what it is, and the draft plays a major role. And there was really nothing that Anthony was going to be able to do when he's got two guys working that are just going to work together like that. So he did the best that he could. I'm glad to see my brother get the win and glad I could help him. So it was a fun race, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Great teamwork there between you two. Right at the line, there's a little contact there between you and Anthony. Was that on purpose, trying to keep him from passing Chris, or just pure accidental?
Oh, no, it wasn't an accident. Chris already had it at that point. I was actually hit him to try to drag him back to where I could get second. But I almost wrecked myself in the process. But Chris had it. Once we came off of turn 4, Anthony didn't really have a chance at that point.
Yeah, that was a great save you had through the grass. Martin, do you have anything for Richard? Not quite sure if Martin is there. Richard, do you have any shout-outs you'd like to give tonight?
I just want to thank my brother and then you guys for doing the broadcast and all the DRL and everybody that puts in the work to make this league possible. Thank you guys.
Alrighty, well, second week in a row you had a great run going, Dover being the last one up there in the top 5. Hopefully we'll see you in the winner's circle soon enough.
Yeah, I hope so. Some of these guys are really fast, so we'll see what we can do. As long as I keep knocking down top 10s, I'll be happy. So that's 2 in a row, so just go from there.
Awesome. Glad we were able to speak with you tonight, and we'll see you again next week.
All right, thanks, man.
And that was our third place finisher, Richard Lucky. Going through the unofficial results, we have Chris Lucky, your winner, only leading 4 laps tonight. Anthony Burrows leading the most laps of 46, finishing second. Richard Lucky finishing third. Taylor Butcher Benjamin leading 1 lap. That's a couple bonus points for him. Fourth. Dustin Musil, what a race, starting in the back, ending up with the top 5 finish. Great job for him. Thomas Harmon, 6th place. Joseph Helt, 7th. Bill Edwards, GN regular, finishing in 8th. Chris James leading 7 laps. Looked like he had a pretty good chance towards the end there. Rounds out 9th. Ryan Asgard, 10th. 11th place, Dakota Wilkins. 12th place, Jeremy Hebel. He was the one you saw in the huge wreck, flipping up and over. Jim Westerfield, 13th. Matthew Kleinsmith, 14th. Wade Hustad, 15th. John Mullen, 16th. Connor Lane, we saw up in the top 5 throughout the day, 17th. Eric Wolf, the pole sitter, leading 45 laps, 18th. Logan McNally, 19th. Mike Lemon rounds out the top 20. 21st was Spencer Tarr, 22nd was Stephen Turner, Gary Cronenweb, 23rd, and John Theodore, 24th. Matt Lovett did not grid tonight. The next broadcast on DRL TV will be at Kansas Speedway. That is on Wednesday. The Grand National Series is off tomorrow night. So join us for 100 laps here at Kansas. The next race of the current series will be next week is the All-Star race. Join us for all that fun, non-points racing at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I believe Martin is back. Is that correct, Martin?
Yep.
All right. Well, as you were gone, we spoke to Richard Lucky. He explained to us about how he was able to work well with Chris Lucky to get him that win, going over the next couple of races on DRL TV and looking at these point standings. This is before tonight. I have yet to update them. Wade Hustad was the points lead with 2 wins on the season. We'll be seeing him at the All-Star race, as well as Thomas Harmon, who also has a win this season. Chris Lucky now has 2 wins on the season. He'll be making his All-Star race debut next week. Logan McNally in the same boat, 2 wins, also making his debut. And then we go all the way down to Anthony Burrows, who has missed a few races but has 4 wins this season. We'll be seeing him next week as well. This was the Kansas 200 for the DRL iRacing Cup Series. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Martin, for joining me. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Good night.